my name is Jessie Jobson, and I'm here with There's a Plan for That. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Today we are going to be talking about multiplication facts and things that I've learned and best practices for how I've found to teach them. So I'm going to take you back. It is my first year of teaching. I'm a fourth grade teacher in North Carolina, so I look up the standards and I see that third grade is supposed to teach multiplication facts 0 through 10. Fourth grade, I just have to cover the multiplication facts for the 11s and the 12s. After that, I am in the clear. So I am feeling really empowered with this information because I was intimidated with the idea of teaching all of those facts from the ground up. So we get there, we're in the middle of our lesson, and I'm operating on the assumption that all of my kids know their facts. If any of you guys have been there, which I'm sure most of us have, that's not normally the case. That was not the case for me. So I'm over here jumping right on in, and my kids had no idea what was going on. So I go back to the drawing board. I pull out skill drills. I pull out flashcards. We're doing timed math fact races. We're standing in line every time we go to the bathroom. We're practicing our facts. We are practicing our math facts till we're blue in the face in any time I can squeeze in. And for some of my students, for the students who already were doing fairly well, they did well with this. They learned their facts. They were able to do them quickly and efficiently. However, for my students who started out really not understanding them from the year before, they still walked away going to fifth grade not knowing their math facts. I failed my students that year. So that summer, I really went back to the drawing board and I tried to figure out, how did I learn my multiplication facts? What did they do when I was in school that worked? Because I know my facts, so something worked. What did they do that worked that I could apply to my classroom? Because I didn't want to fail another group of kids. What I remember is I learned my multiplication facts using song. Not only that, but as an adult, I still would fall back on those songs if I couldn't remember a fact. So, I started looking at the research. It is shown using multiple intelligence theories, hold on, I wrote this down, as well as motivational theories. Both of those types of theories support that learning math through music and integrating the two together helps students learn better. It has better retention. It has better connections. It also activates different parts of the student's brain. Different pathways come alive. And so for the students who might struggle a little more in math, but be really inclined into more of the arts-based, they're really going to light up with this. For the students that might not love song, that's okay, because this isn't the only strategy you would use. This is another tool. So this doesn't mean throw out your flashcards, throw out your practice with paper. No, this is just one more avenue. We teach strategies. We teach 4 and 5 different strategies. This is another way that we're going to give students to master their multiplication facts. Think back to when you guys were learning your ABCs. Pretty much all of us learned it with the song. We know the song. A, B, C, D, E, F. You guys know it. I'm sure you're hearing it in your head too. If somebody were to come up to you and say, I want you to say your ABCs backwards, raise your hand if you would be over there singing the whole song all the way through to try to remember what came before. I know I'd be there. I'd be going through the whole thing in my head and then, okay, here's the next one. Now let me start back over. Yeah. That's because we learned it with a song. We didn't just learn all the letters. We didn't just straight memorize them. We learned a song. So, getting back to our math facts. I would teach the students, starting my second year, I would teach the students 3s, 4s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 12s. I don't teach 1s because we know how to count. I don't teach 0s because any math fact multiplied by 0 is 0. I don't teach our twos, fives, or tens because those are math facts that the students really get a lot of practice with in the first grade. And then they practice with it in second grade. So typically by the time they get to third and fourth grade, they feel pretty confident in their twos, that's skip counting, counting by fives, and counting by tens. I don't teach a song for 11s just because 11s have a nice distinct pattern for most of the numbers that we need. So that's my logic for which songs I teach. If you're interested, I'm going to have that study that connected the multiple intelligence theories as well as the motivational theories into music and math education, and that will be linked below. So if you want to read more about that, feel free to click on that link. All right, one of the most important components is student buy-in. That's how you're going to get your students to really embrace the strategy and learn from it. If they're not interested, you're wasting your time. So, one of the ways I've found for the best student buy-in is to set it up like a competition. For me, I'm kind of lucky. I'm actually departmentalized, so I have 3 groups. And so I get to have the 3 groups race to finish the songs first. If you're not departmentalized, you can give them a deadline. Like, let's say you think it's going to take 2 weeks for each song. There's 7 songs, so that's 14 weeks. So you think it's going to be 14 weeks. It's probably not going to be 14 weeks. The goal is for them to beat 14 weeks. If they finish faster, maybe they earn a movie party. Maybe they earn a pizza party. Maybe they earn a pajama day and bring in their stuffed animal party. Your parties don't have to cost money. It's whatever you feel comfortable doing. So you can set it up and design it in whatever way you're comfortable with. Buy-in is also something you can have by making it something like a product, like a finished product. Maybe you are going to invite the parents to come see the students perform their multiple songs. And so they know that they're working towards a mini concert. It also can be having other staff members be invited in from the school. You can have guest visitors scheduled to come on certain days. So we know we have somebody coming so we can show off our 7s. And so they're going to work hard to learn their 7s so that they can show off for that person. The students love to show off. They love to be bragged on and feel proud of what they're accomplishing. And so having visitors, and the visitors don't have to be people outside of the building. It could be the custodian coming in one day. It could be the principal coming in one day, the lunch lady, the PE teacher. There's lots of different ways you can go about getting guest visitors, but having an extra audience member really promotes a lot of enthusiasm. When you're launching this, it is important that we focus on bite-sized pieces. Think about it. When we first learn about triangles, they don't tell us, we're learning about a triangle today because you're going to learn how to do the Pythagorean theorem. We don't tell them that. We learn about triangles because that's what we're learning today. Multiplication is a scary idea to students. Students hear about it from older brothers and sisters, cousins. They hear about it from their parents. They've heard all this hype about how big a deal multiplication is, that for a lot of students, it's intimidating. They know it's big. And so if you tell the students, we're learning these songs so that we can multiply, you're going to shut some kids down. If you tell a kid, hey, today we're going to learn a song about our 4s. You can even say we're going to learn our multiples of 4. They don't immediately connect that to multiplication. They're excited to learn a song. They're not scared. They don't immediately go, oh, well, I'm not good at math. You have some students that feel that they are not good at math. Doesn't make it true. That's their interpretation. But for the students that already don't feel confident in their math skills, you don't want to shut them out. Teach them the tool first, and then show them how it works. In the beginning, you're giving them a bite-sized piece. Today we're learning our 6s. That's all they need to know. Once they know the 6s, then you can run with it. Then you can launch how to use that song in a functional way to solve multiplication problems. The two biggest educator pushbacks that I've heard about this strategy is one, I don't want to sing in front of my students. That's why I teach upper elementary, because I don't want to do the horse and pony show. And that's okay. What I will tell you, I am not the world's greatest singer. I'm nowhere close. In fact, when you get to the songs where you hear me sing my multiples, you're going to realize I'm not good. But you will never meet a more enthusiastic and uplifting audience than a classroom of third, fourth, fifth graders. They will sit there and they will tell you that the words coming out of your mouth are liquid gold. That is amazing. So if you're ever looking for a confidence boost, try it. They buy in if you buy in. If you get up in front of them and you go, I don't like to sing, but here it is and you half-heart it, they know and they feed off that energy. If you get up there and commit, they're going to commit with you. At the end of the day, you're not doing this because you want to be the best singer. You're not on American Idol. You're in front of students and you're showing them that it's okay to connect math to music. It's okay to not be the best musician. That's okay. But we're going to try. We're going to give it our best. Here's what it should sound like. The other pushback that I hear is, I just don't have the time. That's fair. It does take a time investment in the beginning. What I've found is I don't give them more than 10 minutes a day. It can eat up as much time as you're willing to give it. I do 10 minutes at the start of my lesson when we're first learning them. Once we've learned the songs, it's less than 5 minutes. And we start off our lesson every day with that. That's our opener to our lesson, so it makes for a really nice transition piece. But when we're learning the songs, we get 10 minutes and we practice. And the way we learn it is we learn it in pieces. And so I'll write the numbers on the board, going like 4, 8, 12, 16, going down. And then I will start by saying, I'm going to sing you a song. Close your eyes, just listen. I sing it once through. Then I let them open their eyes and I tell them I'm going to sing it again. Then we do a call and repeat. It's super important that they're paying attention to my hands. If I'm pointing to me, that means I'm going. If I'm pointing to them, that means they're echoing. And we practice that. This is a routine that we establish from the very beginning. If the students are having a hard time following the routine that day, which it happens, then you stop. Some days we only make it 2 minutes in. And that's okay, because remember, you also have those motivating factors that we talked about. Those kids are working towards something. But it's okay to say, we tried today and we're just not focused. And so we're going to stop this today and we're going to move on to whatever's next in your lesson. I've had to stop before, and I've had kids that have asked, are we in trouble? Are you angry at us? You're not angry. We're disappointed. We were looking forward to being able to practice today, but that's okay. Not every day we're ready for it. And so if today is not the day that we're ready, that's okay. We're going to stop and move on, and tomorrow's a new day, and we're going to try again. So it's okay to set that bar high. If you don't, then it's going to take more of your time. You're going to spend more than 10 minutes each day trying to learn it because the kids are running the show. Don't give them that power. Set your expectations, show them what you want, and then move on. Once we've gotten the whole song down where you can sing the song and then they can repeat the song, then I take away the top number. So if it was my 4s, I would erase the 4, and then I would sing the whole song again. They would sing the whole song again. If they did that successfully, you would take away another number. And you would keep going down until they get to the point that they can do the whole song repeating after you. They haven't mastered it till they can do the whole song the next day without it having been written on the board that day. Once they've done that, you would consider it mastered, and you would move on to introducing the next song. Now, what's super important is when you introduce song number 2, 3, 4, whatever song you're on next, you still practice the songs that you've already learned each time. So I would open, once We've learned our fours, our sixes, and we're on our sevens. We would practice our fours, we'd practice our sixes, and then we would start learning our sevens. We wouldn't just forget about the fours and the sixes because what makes it work is that repetition. You can also have them practice as transitions. When they go to line up, you can have them practice singing their song. It's great for cutting down talking when they're lining up and for getting your transitions to go quickly. The expectation is that the students are in line without having run by the time the song is finished. Now, they might not all be there, but most of them will be there. And so that's something that has also helped. This is also great for if you finish up something 3 minutes before lunch and you don't want to start the next part of your lesson. Practice your songs. Once they get really good at them, you can make them into challenges. Like you can have them speed sing or sing with their best cowboy voice. Things like that. You can actually have a lot of fun with it, and the kids like it once they know the numbers. This is also great as a brag strategy. If you have administration pop in your room, if you have a parent tour where a parent's watching, you can pull this out of your hat and you look great. You look like you know what you've done, and your kids look like, one, they know the routine, and two, they have 100% learned something exciting and efficient and new. Pull it out of your bag. Look phenomenal. Once your students have mastered these songs and you've had your celebration or whatever they were working towards, that goal, that prize, then you have to show them how to use it. And so I like to pull up a blank multiplication table. I put it on the board, and then I have the kids count with me and sing their songs with me. And as they do that, I fill in the chart. Their minds are blown once they see how that entire chart is filled in with the knowledge they already have. Once we have a completed multiplication chart on the board, I show them how to use it. And so we go through and we put our finger on 6 and our finger on 7, and we trace to where they meet. And that's how we know that 6 times 7 is 42. I show them that we don't have to sing the song every time. We talk about mental fatigue. Our brains get tired, especially on big tests like state tests at the end of the year. Our brains get tired, so we might know 6 times 7 at the beginning of the year, or at the beginning of the test, but 2 hours in, we might not remember how to find it. And that's okay, it's normal. But if we've made a multiplication table for ourselves on our scrap sheet of paper, then we will know what 6 times 7 is the entire time we're testing. And so I show them that they already know how to make it because we've learned all the pieces. Then we transition to practicing. And so as we start practicing in our warm-up for the day and we go through all the songs we've learned, I'll pass out blank multiplication tables on their desks. And as we sing, we all write it in. And so by the end of that practice, they've got a multiplication table right there. You can choose to laminate this so you don't have to make copies every time. You can choose to give out blank paper or graph paper. I personally give out graph paper that matches what they would get on an end of year state test so they can get used to creating their own, because you cannot give them a multiplication on that test, but you can provide them with the tools to create their own in that setting. And so if they know how, they can make it. So we practice it. We practice it so they can do it quickly and efficiently and correctly to help prevent mental fatigue. All right, well, that's about everything that I have to talk about with that for today. I am going to link the videos for our 4s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 12s, and our 3s. The reason I listed the 3s last is because in my experience, that's been the song the students like the least. So doing it at the very end, they're excited because their prize is like within reach. And so they want to get through it quickly and they have more buy-in on it. All right. Well, once again, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below. And we look forward to seeing you next time with more content. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.